The number one reason insurance denies roof claims, it's not what you think. Insurance companies aren't denying your claim because you don't have damage. They're denying it because they don't have documentation. This is why we use drones, AI technology, satellite imagery, and just good old roofing experience to document everything that might be wrong with your roof. You as a homeowner need a roofer with documentation standards. Call Absolute Restoration. Let us come and inspect, document, and present.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Not too shabby of a Thursday across North Mississippi. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 5. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynard, joined alongside Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon. We'll get to him in just a second. What we're tracking tonight is a cold forecast, but it gets better by Friday before the real cold moves in by this weekend. But Matt, I know that you are out and about in the Saltillo area right now. I see you indoors, probably a little bit warmer, and you have the sweater. So you want to talk about preparation. I would say you are the staple heading into tonight.
Absolutely. And if you look behind me, it's like, what and where? I'm at Saltillo Primary School. Oh, see, I gave away a little bit of it here. They are having their open house tonight. And we've been talking about, holiday lights, holiday decorations. I want to talk about some place where they've been doing the hard work here. All the teachers in the first grade hall, say hi, everybody. There's more down the way we'll see here in a minute. It's an opportunity, again, I think is one thing I know with my kids, that they like to kind of showcase, hey, here's the way we've kind of been celebrating the holiday at school. And I know that the teachers here decorating the first grade hall, at least, with all of those different, as you can see there, those different decorations for cities around North Mississippi here. And so I thought it was just kind of a fun night here, going on from around 5 p.m. Until 6:30 for, again, the kids to come in and have a good time and the teachers to kind of show off where they are. So all the different cities here in North Mississippi and many around the state represented. And yes, I mean, there are some holiday lights that we're getting up and in here as well. They are actually the primary lights here in the hallway. They started decorating back in November. And Gabe, I think that maybe I'll just keep cracking this joke and eventually it'll wear out. As you can see with the stuff flying, we've got at least some snowflakes down here toward one of the ends of the hall. So yeah, a kind of a fun night here, just a great, reason to come to school at night. And I think a lot of the kids, excited to kind of show off their place here. And so that's just one way, again, folks are kind of celebrating as we go into this holiday season. Warming up for your Friday, though, more outdoor activities will be in good shape, but downhill from here as we expect the temperatures are going to be going down a lot more as we head into this upcoming weekend. Fairly decent drop, again, likely there, and dry conditions likely persisting through the extended forecast. This evening, though, out and about at this time, coming in with that temperature of 49 degrees. It feels like 46. So there's a little bit of a wind chill, hence the reason it's nice to be inside. Saltillo Christmas Parade is tomorrow evening. We're going to do some preview on that, but I'll be honest, the Mississippi Live Christmas party is at 7 tomorrow, so we're probably not going to make the actual parade. Part of the reason why we wanted to try to come out tonight to this event here, since we won't be able to make it there. First 12 forecast. As you can see there, we're going 43 at 6, 39 look toward 9, and 38 by around midnight. Look at 38 degrees by 3 o'clock early tomorrow morning. So still a little cool out there for the first part of your Friday, but it'll warm up quite a bit by afternoon. Upper 40s, low 50s out there as far as temperatures are concerned right now under these kind of mostly clear skies. Those temperatures dropping not quite as far for locations in the Delta, but a few shots, and hopefully Gabe will still have some of that sunlight glowing on that a minute ago. Looking pretty nice out there. Wind chills in the upper 40s, low 50s, obviously an improvement from where we were last night in some cases at this time. So Futurecast, looking at Mississippi Live Weather Radar, no precipitation out there and kind of the wider shot. High pressure is in control. But if you go just a little bit back to the north and west, again, the systems that we're looking there have progressed a lot closer. And that one toward around Denver, Colorado, that's going to be the one that could bring a little bit of moisture close-ish to us. And good toward the weekend, but I think the majority of that probably staying down to our south. So the high pressure center is mainly in control and keeping us mostly clear into tonight. We do see, again, enough clearing to get those temperatures back into the 30s. Futurecast here, though, obviously keeping it dry, keeping those winds relatively calm. But notice that wind direction now out of more of a southerly direction. That starts a trend that will eventually shift more kind of to our west wind, and then eventually back northwest as a stronger front arrives. So notice for tomorrow, we go from 39 in the morning to 61 at noon and mid-60s on the way for tomorrow afternoon. And that change of wind direction there is another front that brings a more impressive drop in temperatures as we head into this upcoming weekend. Come up in 60 seconds, we're breaking down just how cold those temperatures will be. It's kind of been the story of the week. We know it's going to be cold, but how extremely cold, there's a fall on that scale there. We're looking at that and looking towards some eventual rain chances. Mississippi Live weather continues here from the mobile Room to Room Weather Center right after this.
Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
Enjoy your home for the holidays with store-wide savings at Room to Room. 50% off, 48-month special financing, and as our gift to you, a free accessory buyer's card. There's something here for everyone, including gift cards. Merry Christmas from Room to Room Tupelo.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
Ready! We don't have time for spills.
Next. We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, actually, I think I put it on the wrong graphic. Bear with me behind the scenes. I think it went to the top of the show. Have to bring it back down here because, of course, Matt went over that first part of the forecast. But as we bring it back here, we're, of course, going to start with those beautiful views out and about. Matt mentioning that beautiful sky, that beautiful horizon, getting a good look out there in Amory. A big thank you to the North Mississippi Storm Chasers for providing this fantastic shot. 48 degrees feels like values, maybe a few degrees cooler, but that's as those winds still slightly breezy as we head into those late evening hours. But that shot, stunning. Had to post earlier on because I know those sunsets are beautiful across North Mississippi. So if you have a great shot, go ahead and put it in the comments, meteorologist Gabe Maynor, or send it into the Mississippi Live Weather app. That's really the best way to get your photos in the shows, and we'll showcase those all night long, especially if those sites look like what it does in Amory. Crenshaw, of course, this is looking towards the north, so it's not exactly getting that best look at the horizon, but we do have another few shots across North Mississippi. This one actually in Greenville showcasing words don't do it justice. That is perfection on the horizon. 52 degrees right now. Again, those dew points still low, still right around that same margin for those feels like values, so it's not going to be changing too much, but those skies are just something to marvel at. God is good. My word. Our Mississippi Live Weather Radar staying on the drier side as we get into our Thursday evening plans, whether it's some open houses or some Christmas parades around the region, both looking good to go. Let's go ahead and track those rainfall totals over the past 3 days, and as you can see, not a drop. And why does that matter? Well, over the past 7 days, we've kind of been waiting on our latest drought monitor to come out, and we've gotten about a ½ inch in Monroe County, but aside from that, a couple tenths of an inch, a couple hundredths of an inch. Not really been a wet week over the past few days. So that's why our drought monitor has not really been taken from what it was last week. As you see that latest look, level 3 drought for parts of Water Valley, Grenada, Bruce, Oxford. Level 2 drought extending into Pontotoc and Houston, and level 1 drought still in Lee County and Prentiss County, but not much change. If you look at that change, I'm going to actually stand over here because the only change that has happened is that. There's your very minimal change, with some of that being bumped off there from northern Alabama, but just bouncing this back and forth. You can see that's the only difference from last week to this week. So that rainfall not doing much in the form of this drought monitor, so we're not seeing that be taken back any. So it's an unfortunate part of the forecast is just it's been so dry. Our parade planner, of course, parades appreciate the dry conditions because they're able to happen. This week has been a great week for it and continues tonight on our Thursday evening. 48 degrees by 5, 43 by 6, and then low 40s by 7. So temperatures around this time frame, probably the warmest that it's been over the past several days. Low 40s, definitely nothing to complain about, and we'll enjoy that even into those late evening hours before cold conditions move in for the start of our Friday. So futurecast tonight stays on the drier side once again. Those winds coming out of the south, and that's going to bring in some of that warmer air by the time we get into our Friday morning. So enjoy it. It's going to be a great forecast, and really enjoy it because it's the one day of that warmer air sticking around. So Friday morning, as you can see, dry, clear, and going to be cold, but and we'll get better as the day goes on. Taking a look at low temperatures, upper 30s, low 40s, not too bad for this time of year. As the day goes on, though, that's where we'll get to warm up just a bit. A few of those breezes knocking those temperatures down, so it'll feel in the mid to upper 30s, but we know to layer up this time of year. Every morning is going to be cold. Some days at freezing like this morning, some days slightly above freezing like tomorrow. 39 degrees at pickup, 63 around drop off, still with those sunny skies all day long. This is such a beautiful pattern. Gives us those great sunsets like what we had in Amory and Greenville, but it also gives us that warmer air as a result, and that's what we're going to be enjoying on Friday before that extreme cold moves in by this weekend. So taking a look at Futurecast, let's go ahead and assess what's going to be happening on Friday, because it's going to be clear all day, it's going to be warm, or should I say warm for this time of year, but there is something that's happening that's going to drive our weekend forecast. So let's go ahead and get into it. You're taking a look at it just towards our north. This is 7:30 on Friday, and that cold front moving through Little Rock and Forest City. That inching its way into North Mississippi as the day goes on. Not expecting any rainfall with that, maybe a few clouds, but that's really it when it comes to what we're going to see in the sky. Back behind it, though, those winds already starting to shift. So as Matt was talking about, it's going to be from a southerly to a westerly all the way to a northwesterly by the afternoon. And that's where those winds are going to bring in some cooler air by the time we get into our weekend forecast. So Friday, still going to enjoy those warm conditions, but these breezes are going to really impact that forecast heading overnight and into our weekend ahead. So don't be fooled by the forecast. We're not on a warming trend, a significant warming trend. It's going to gradually be pulled back by Saturday and really be pulled back. I mean, we are on the downward part of that roller coaster for sure by the time we get towards Sunday and Monday. So Friday night, staying clear, staying good to go. So any of those parades like in Saltillo, going to be a good forecast as well. But these high temperatures, oh man, that is a good forecast. Low 60s up around the Tennessee state line, with those mid 60s returning towards Eupora, Greenwood, Kosciuszko, Louisville, and around Columbus. So that is a great looking forecast, definitely above our average for this time of year. So like I said, enjoy it. It will not last forever. And unfortunately, that starts to recede as we get into our Saturday. So a very quick turnaround, and at least we'll get those drier conditions with it. I say drier, there is some hesitation because by the time we get into our Saturday afternoon, the potential of a few isolated showers popping up is in the forecast. But as we get into our Saturday, of course, those temperatures are going to be cooler. The real cool down comes with this front. Yes, multiple fronts working their way through the area, cooling us off heading into the weekend. So if you think Saturday's cold, then you better buckle up for what's ahead, because Sunday drops even more. The start of our Monday, we're talking teens heading out the door. So we definitely want to keep those layers around. We're not expecting much, if any, moisture along this front. It'd just be a few of those pop-up showers, but even then, our best chances remain further south. So we are forecasting a mostly dry day for our Saturday and continuing into those late night hours as well. But those breezy conditions, we're not just talking about cold temperatures, we're also talking about potential wind chill, bumping it down even more. So layers might not even be enough. We need layers with multiple S's to really emphasize the fact that we need to stay warm. High temperatures on your Saturday, it's going to be gradual cool down at first with mid 50s in Oxford. Same thing New Albany and Boonville. Low 50s showing off around South Haven and Corinth. That's where that front has worked through a little bit more. Down south, still low 60s, so definitely nothing to complain about. It's going to be a good looking Saturday. But this weekend altogether, yeah, you can see the trend. 57 degrees Saturday afternoon. Sunday only climbing to about 35 degrees. Now it is going to be dry, so for all of those white forecasts, the folks that look for the white forecast, yeah, it's not going to be that type of forecast. It's just going to be the cold with no precipitation, but still, that is a forecast that it's going to be pretty brutal heading off to those church services. So hopefully your church services have the heat cranked, because I'm definitely hoping mine does. Limited to no rainfall. That's that limited chance for our Saturday, but temps trending even colder than even what we were tracking before. So this weekend, it's been a headache to forecast, but we're finally getting that nailed down a little bit better. Saturday, 57 for highs. Sunday, 35 for highs, but those lows going to be in the upper 20s, and yeah, you think that's cold. Then we get into Monday morning. The teens back into the forecast, still with those wind chills knocking it down a couple of degrees. So this is unfortunately a very, very cold pattern that we're going to be working our way into, probably having to drip a couple of those pipes as well. We'll, of course, assess that in more detail here from the Room to Room Weather Center as we head through our Thursday night and into our Friday night, so we have a better idea on what those temperatures will be, but we can tell you it's going to be cold. We'll, of course, keep you updated, like I mentioned, and the best way to do so is with that Mississippi Live Weather app, free and available on iOS and Android. So go ahead and give that a download today. We cannot thank anybody enough for the amount of support that you guys have shown us through this journey. We are just humbled and grateful and give God all the glory, but You guys have been a fantastic community in supporting us, so want to give you guys a shout out, and we're just very grateful and humbled. As we keep that forecast going, of course, our next live show, should I say, is going to be at 6 p.m. and we will be live at 10 p.m. tracking the latest on those model trends. Still expect it to be dry, but just how cold are we talking? That's the golden question, and we'll assess that through every show on your Thursday night. Have a fantastic Thursday, and we'll see you right back here tonight at 6.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The Health Class Film Guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.